Hello and welcome to a brand new Premier Perspective video. Today is the first of a new series where we will be looking at the potential summer transfer deals that could be taking place for a lot of the top teams. Today, first we're going to start off with City. So Ryan, why don't you start that off?
Of course, very exciting for City this summer. Well, unfortunately, looks like Aguero's time at City is coming to an end.
Very
Like I said
sad.
before, I think in one of the more recent of our videos, you always hate to see a legend leaving the club like that. Possibly one of the best strikers to ever play in the Prem, and to play at Manchester City is such an honor. So many amazing moments. The goal against QPR being the standout moment. But as it does look like it's coming to an end, multiple clubs he could end up going to, depending on who sells the City. But they have a lot of potential signings, a lot of prospects that they're looking at. The top prospect, I'm gonna just kick it off right here. You already know how it's gonna go. Erling Haaland, absolutely insane. 20 years old, 21 goals and
Amazing.
4 assists in 21 games in Bundesliga this season, as well as 10 goals and 1 assist in 6 UCL games. He's absolutely scary. City's top priority this summer, no doubt about it. He doesn't look like he's
100%.
stopping anytime soon. Sometimes you get the young strikers who have that little run of form, that quick little burst of form, and then they're out of it right again. No, this kid is scary. Or if you see, there's that one, the goal ended up getting disallowed, but what I always comes to mind when I talk about how
Yeah,
frightening
that
this
one
guy
goal versus Sevilla,
is the one against Sevilla, where he blew through. He's like a freight train.
like a tank,
He
bro.
blew through like four guys, mowed down the keeper, scored, got disallowed, but either way, you can't go wrong with it. He's easy to play with. He's not lazy at all. His work rate is absolutely insane. Another one against
Insane
Sevilla,
work rate.
drove from the 50. If you see him sprint, he's rapid. Usually the taller strikers are
Hmm.
a little bit slower.
Not
But
him.
he's absolutely not him, like you said. But I would be absolutely ecstatic to see him come to City. I would be so happy. He would be probably one of my favorite signings of recent times, especially that I've seen come to City, even though they get in so many great signings.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
And
yeah,
with him, obviously, with such a big signing, a lot of teams are going to be wanting him. The other two major clubs that have been linked to him are right now are Chelsea and Real Madrid.
Liverpool
Some
as well.
reports.
I've heard.
Oh, for real? I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, that would
Unfortunately,
be good for them, honestly. But
no, it would be, but not for us.
I mean, for any team to sign such a star like Haaland would be amazing. I've heard a lot of reports say that City are favorites. I've heard a lot of reports say that Real Madrid are favorites. I could see him going to either or. I think those two are on top. I'm hoping, obviously, as a City fan, that Haaland signs for us, but it can go either way. However, when you have such a big signing, you have to have some backup options, and with that, some reports are coming out pretty much like I think today I saw recently where they were talking about Danny Ings being a potential signing. He's been
Interesting.
a great striker in the Premier League for years now for Southampton. I think he's more of like a. I feel like he'd be more of a backup option. I
Yeah, I
feel
mean,
like it would be a
I don't
good
know if he
like
could start, especially being a
yeah.
little older. He's 28.
Hmm.
Even though
But
he had a really quick start to the
player.
season at Southampton, 8 goals, 3 assists so far this season. A lot of them were towards the beginning, but unfortunately he
Hmm.
was injured. Again, supports the reason why he should kind of be a backup option, even though he's definitely class. There's no doubt about
Yeah,
it. But could he hold up that he would just end up being another Aguero in terms of the injury situation?
yeah. Another name being linked to City is Jack Grealish as a midfield option. I think Jack Grealish is a great player. Don't get me wrong. I just don't really see the need for City to sign him, considering all the other great midfielders we have, including De Bruyne and Bernardo, Foden, and even other midfielders like Sterling and Mars on the wings. Because Jack Grealish can play on the wing as well. I don't really see a need for City to sign him.
I don't
But
see
like I
it
said,
at all. Seems
he is
kind
a
of
great player. I just feel like with the squad we currently have, it's not really an area that we should focus and splash some money on.
Yeah, I totally agree. But also for Jack Grealish, I mean, no doubt that he's an amazing player, but just the way he plays, it almost seems so individual. You can see it. I mean, I don't blame him. I would play the same way if I was carrying Aston Villa the way he has this season, 6 goals and 10 assists in his Prem games this season. And he's been inflicted with a couple injuries, unfortunately. He's only 25 years old, so if he were to sign for City, he would definitely have a lot of time there. But for me, just the way he looks on the field, he's just so hard to play with. And in a City team that's so unselfish, especially for a Prem team, to always be passing, always be moving. It seems like he slows it too much. So I don't know about that one for me, but wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, it wouldn't be terrible. And another name in terms of attacking option that's been thrown around is Harry Kane, even though I don't really think he would leave Spurs to come to City. And I don't really know if he would fit City system as much as another striker would. I still think he's
Mhm.
great, and he probably could work for any team, honestly, with considering his goal scoring record. Something that I always think about is that one of my very bad football predictions throughout the years was that I remember when Harry Kane started off for Tottenham, I said, Harry Kane is a one season wonder. I remember saying that with so much
Wow.
confidence. I was like, Harry Kane is not going to be a prolific striker for years to come, and how he has proved me wrong,
Yeah. Yeah.
as we've seen with his
Rough day.
great scoring. As you see in our, if anyone who watched our last video, that he's currently top of the goal scoring and assists in the Prem right
30
now.
contributions this season.
30 goal
Insane.
contributions. It's really ridiculous how much he's done as an attacking option. But another area for City that has been looked upon is at left back. With Zinchenko not always being as consistent, even though he has shown some great form this year, and then also with Mendy being Mendy. City has always been linked with left backs. This year, the main name is Robin Gosens from Atalanta. Great player, 9 goals and 5 assists from a left back. He plays as a left wing back for Atalanta, but it would
Just
be
something to
interesting to
consider.
see. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how he
Either
works
way,
back four.
to capitalize in that position, even though
Yeah.
Atlanta has an amazing team this year,
Hmm.
they're fourth right now, currently in Syria, with a game ahead of, but also tied on points from in the third place Juve.
Hmm.
And they've been amazing this season. And Gosens is a very talented player. And even if he plays that left wing back and he's used to creating from there, that might bring other options for City. City might go
Yeah.
with that three at the back with Laporte, Diaz, and Stones. That's very viable, especially considering they have Nathan Ake, who has unfortunately had a lot of injury this season, but he's also a very talented player.
Yeah.
Gosens
A
could
lot
either
of
push up,
options.
and I feel like, especially in that wingback position, I'm sorry, he could
Hmm.
definitely drop and just play left back
And
quite easily.
especially knowing how well Rodri is at dropping back, and also
Right,
considering how good Cancelo is on the right wing back of
right.
attacking, maybe those two as attacking wing backs could be something that Pep could try out next year. He did try out a back three against Fulham a couple games back where he used Mendy, and obviously Mendy hasn't been the best for City. Great guy, but hasn't really been what we paid for. So it'd be
Mhm.
interesting to see someone else try and take that left back role.
Yeah, for sure. And the next position to look at is a central midfield position, which right
Hmm.
now City looks pretty okay on. But Awar from Lyon, who is a very talented player, he's so silky in his dribbling,
Hmm.
but almost like a Gundogan, almost too
Yeah,
similar. They would definitely be conflicting interests.
I feel like that
Actually,
would be a
no doubt
good
about it.
player to sign in the future if
For sure. Yeah.
once Fernandinho's gone. Gundogan's time is probably coming in the next few seasons. So I feel like when that time comes, then a player like Or would be great for City.
Yeah, very talented player, but
Hmm.
you just don't want to overload, especially
Yeah.
those central midfield positions that
Hmm.
need consistency in order to work. The next one, it's the rumors kind of dissipated and it pretty much did right away. But Gigi Donnarumma, which is a
Hmm.
really interesting one for me, considering that why are they even looking at him? They have Ederson,
Yeah.
who's not close to
Hmm.
retirement, I don't believe, and
No,
Zach
Ederson's young
Steffen
for a
as well.
goalie, especially too.
Yeah, and Zach Steffen as well,
Steven is
who's
a
even younger than
quality.
Ederson, who's also very very quality, and Scott Carson, of course. Um,
Carson, the
but
goat.
yeah, and they also recently signed another England U18 or something like that,
Hmm.
play U17 or 18 player, I believe. But either way, Donnarumma with a keeper of his class, there's no way that he would sit the bench to Ederson or vice versa. Just
It
wouldn't
it's
wouldn't
something
make sense to me.
something great to see this year is having no issues in terms of goalie.
It is, yeah,
And I remember
the
when Pep
Claudio Bravo
just
days.
came. when Pep just came to City and he brought in Bravo and just
And everyone thought it was a class signing too,
I thought
because it
I
was at the
mean it
time.
was if you think
It
about
was at
it,
the time,
the way that Barcelona was at that time, Barcelona
and the way
was
that he
in
had
the
carried
prime
Chile
MSN, and the way he how great he was versus for playing for Chile. I um I was really excited for that, but then it didn't work out. We brought in Ederson, who's been absolutely amazing. Love watching him play, and now we have a great backup with Zach Steffen, U.S. men's national team goalie. He's one of the young, promising players for this U.S. men's national team that we'll
for sure.
definitely will
Love
be
him.
covering in the future, considering how much promise and talent they have. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up City and what they're gonna be doing. Next up, for a video, we're gonna be in terms of this series, which will be in the future, no date yet. But we're gonna be covering Manchester United and the possible transfers they could be having this summer. So once again, we want to say thank you to anyone who's shown support for our channel. We really love doing what we're doing right now, and we're looking forward to what the future holds. So once again, thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.